Good afternoon or good evening. It depends on the fact where are you located just now. Welcome you to our webinar entitled Become a PhD or postdoc in Czechia, which is focused on biomedicine, medicine, biology, biochemistry, and life sciences in general. My name is Martin Vita, and I'm a researcher at the Academy of Sciences of the Czech Republic. But here I'm going to act as your guide throughout the whole session. This is the second edition of the webinar, and I'm glad that the number of participating institutions increased as well as the number of online participants. At this point, I would like to express my thanks to our Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Czech Republic, especially to the Department of Scientific Diplomacy. Welcome here, our colleague Petr Michalek. And I should mention a great job which was done by several embassies of the Czech Republic. I would like to emphasize especially the embassy in Portugal, in France, in Spain, in Romania, and in Croatia. We will follow our program step by step because it remains unchanged, I hope. The program is basically split into two parts. The first one will be a brief and general introduction to the Czech Republic. It will consist of a salutation of His Excellency, the Ambassador, Mr. Martin Paul. And this speech will be followed by a presentation of the Czech National Agency for International Education and Research. And then we will continue with the presentation of research institutions. This will be the main part. So it's a great pleasure for me to introduce here His Excellency, from the Ambassador.
Hello, good afternoon. I'd like to greet everyone and thank you, Martin, for introducing me. I remember when we met with Martin for the first time here in Lisbon about 2.5 years ago, and we started to talk about this project and opportunity, and I'm very glad and proud that this is actually happening, thanks to my team, thanks Katerina, but mainly thanks to all you who find it interesting and who participate on this platform. I strongly believe it's going to be a productive and successful, and without any further ado, I believe that it will bring more people who are interested in boosting their careers into my country, into the Czech Republic, and you will find it a fascinating experience which will help to your scientific careers. Good luck, and I really believe that this is going to become a tradition, and that's all from my side. I wish you a pleasant webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador. Thank you for your nice words on behalf not only the Czech Embassy, but on behalf of the whole Czech Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Thank you once again. And now it's the right time for a special commercial of the Czech Republic. So we will have here a presentation of the Czech National Agency for International Education and Research about study here in the Czech Republic, and perform your research. So I would like to ask our colleague to take the floor.
Thank you, Martin. I hope the presentation is visible. And can you see it all?
It's full screen mode. Okay.
Is it full screen?
Yes.
Great, thank you. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michaela and I work at the Czech National Agency for International Education and Research, as Martin mentioned, more specifically in the Study in Czechia department. One of our main goals within the department is, as you can see on this first slide, the promotion of Czech higher education abroad. Just so you know, the first part of the presentation will be dedicated more to PhD options, while the second part will focus more on the research options. So let's dive in. Why is Czechia a smart choice in the first place? Because affordable living options, broad choice of study opportunities, and high quality of education can be all found at one place. So don't hesitate and join our community of international students already living and studying in Czechia. As you can see on the slide, there are approximately 300,000 students currently studying at Czech universities, and about 50,000 of them are international students in full degree study programs. That's around 18%. So even though Czechia is a small country, we belong to those with the highest percentage of international students within the whole Europe. And outside of these 18%, 10% is or are international PhD students, as you can see on the last graph. On this graph, you may see the number of international PhD students that is continuously increasing, even though a total number of PhD students is decreasing. Next, on this map, you can find all Czech universities that are offering programs in English. Universities in blue are public, red ones are private. Almost all public ones offer PhD programs, but on the other hand, the private universities, just some of them offer PhD programs, for example, like Metropolitan University in Prague. If you want to know more about the university programs, don't hesitate to visit our Study in Czechia portal. Looking for the study program can be quite overwhelming, as each university has the list of their programs on their website. I know it, and I'm Czech, so Study in portal deals with that problem. You can search using keywords and filter the results, for example, by level of study, name of the institution, program that you want to study, and more. Other useful information like visa processes, living costs, scholarship, medical care, and insurance that can be found on our studyinczechia.cz website. Now I'll tell you a bit more about the research opportunities in Czechia, because there are plenty of them. Czech research has achieved a level of international excellence in many areas, such as digital technologies, cybersecurity, biotech, and health tech. There are well over 200 research organizations in Czechia, and many of them are associated with universities and the Academy of Science, but there are also private ones among them. Also, the research community in Czechia is quite international, as you can see on the table on the slide. It just has to be mentioned that these data represent the HE and government sector only, but there are many more people employed in business sector as well that aren't unfortunately included in these statistics. The Czech National Agency has one office outside of Czechia, which is in Brussels, the Cello office. You can imagine Cello as a bridge to your Czech partners, a research institution in Czechia. Here is a list of relevant Cello activities in the area of research. I would like to point out two that might be of your interest. The first one is that Cello organize various events, such as matchmaking events, and the second one is the partner search. that might be relevant for you in case you are looking for a Czech partner institution for a consortium, or you would like to join a consortium, you can contact Cello and last but not least is the National Alumni Program that is for all international alumni of Czech higher education. This National Alumni Program aims to support the internalization of Czech universities, also keep in touch with international alumni, and mediate professional opportunities. And one last statistic before the end of this presentation. Based on our study, 97% of international alumni recommend studying in Czechia. So thank you for your attention. I hope I've made it to the limit of 10 minutes, and don't hesitate to contact us and enjoy the rest of this event. That's all from me.
Thank you very much, Michaela, for your presentation and a nice commercial of the Czech Republic and study and doing research here. And now that's the right time to make a quick tour around the Czech Republic, starting in the second largest city here, which you may know, it's Brno, the second largest city, which is known for rich university life. And I would like ask our colleagues from CETEC to take the floor and introduce their institution.
Okay, so good evening, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Esther Jarur, and I am the head of international relations at CETEC. And it is my pleasure to give you a few reasons why you should consider working and studying in the Czech capital of science and technology in Brno, and particularly at CETEC Masaryk University. CETEC stands for Central European Institute of Technology, and this picture on the cover slide and also the picture in my background, this is not some fancy picture I have taken from the internet, but this is the actual research center that I would like to advertise for right now. CETEC is a consortium built on 6 core institutions, and today I will speak about CETEC Masaryk University, which is working in the area of life sciences. So as Martin already said, we are located in Brno. Brno is the second largest city in Czech Republic and very conveniently located just 2 hours away from 3 European capitals, Prague, Bratislava, and Vienna. Brno is not the capital, but it is known as the Science and Education Hub, and as we like to call it, the Czech capital of science and technology. It has been rated many years in a row as the most popular student town globally. Usually we score around the 4th place. It has a very strong academic ecosystem with 6 public universities and with very diverse international community. Every 5th person in our city is a student, and we are also a hub of electron microscopy. 1/3 of the world's production of electron microscope is produced in our very own city of Brno. We have also a historical legacy of science. The genetics has been discovered by Johann Gregor Mendel in Brno as well. The city is also known for its unique culture and lifestyle. We have the highest concentration of expatriates from all Czech cities. So expats usually feel very comfortable in our city. We have a very reasonable cost of living, variety of restaurants, clubs, theaters, pubs, bars, and entertainment opportunities, as well as a lot of work opportunities after your graduation. And we are also famous for being very safe, stable, and friendly city. Now, let's move to main research areas at our institute, CETEC. So if you happen to do research in the areas of structural biology, plant biology, molecular medicine, or neuroscience, CETEC might be the right place for you. On the following pictures, you can see some examples from our core facilities. that our researchers use to perform research. And our core facilities are our big pride because we have managed to secure quite very generous funds to purchase the top-notch equipment that we are very famous for. Those are just 4 examples of cryo-electron microscopy, genomics laboratory, neuroscience laboratory, and the plant science laboratory. But in total, we have 11 core facilities. You can find the details on the website. And for us, our core facilities are not just equipment. They are a strategic tool that help us to attract top researchers. As you know, to produce good scientific publications and to come up with new innovations, you don't need only talents, but you also need top-notch equipment to really be always on the forefront. So if technological equipment is the magnet also for you and a reason to pursue your career at a place with good equipment, please have a look at our website on the core facilities. Here, quick snapshot about our size and scientific output in numbers. So we are divided in 28 research groups. Those research groups are using the already mentioned 11 core facilities. Our researchers work on 150 ongoing scientific projects. Most of our funding comes from competitive funding. 33 of our currently running projects are international. And annually, our researchers are producing around 200 scientific publications, and about 60% out of those publications are in the first quartile in the given sector. We have around 400 employees who are coming from 29 countries. So we are, for Czech standard, very international institute. We have around 250 researchers. Out of our research community, 40% is international. And we have about 200 PhD candidates. And out of them, half is international, which, as you see to the comparison of a national level, our level of internationalization is pretty high. Here are some examples of our scientific publications. We are proud that our scientists are publishing their research results in the world's top magazines like Nature, Science, or Molecular Cell. If you want to find out more about the publications, again, you are more than welcome to go on our website and find out in the news section or in the publication section of each research group of your interest. We believe that our success is also driven by our management excellence. We make our decisions based on data. We put a lot of emphasis on leadership quality, and all of our leaders, regardless whether those are leaders of administrative and managerial departments, but also scientific groups and core facilities, they have special training and leadership evaluation, so everybody can be led professionally and feel comfortable. We have also regular evaluation by International Scientific Advisory Board that helps us to set the right strategic direction for our research and to remain globally competitive. So why should you be PhD or postdoc and SATEC? So let's have a look at a few specific advantages that we have specifically for you, for early career researchers. So we have a very vibrant scientific community. We have a very large variety of scientific events and conferences because we are located on the largest campus in Central Europe that is very modern and built after the American campus model. We have a large international community and plenty of networking and social events. Almost every day there is some kind of event for this target group taking place on campus where you can meet other people and expand your knowledge and network. We offer a large variety of training and career development opportunities. So besides your technical training that you will receive in your research group, we have more than 40 courses per year focusing on soft skills and transferable skills. And we are trying to develop our researchers to be really globally competitive and give you ideal starting point for your next career steps after you have left SATEC. We have also a mentoring and peer support program. Besides the formal mentoring program that is called Thesis Advisory Committee, that is basically there for every PhD student. Every PhD student doesn't have only his main supervisor, but also co-supervisor, which helps then with on-time graduation and with the right steering of the project, and has a lot of benefits for our students. We have also a lot of informal peer mentoring opportunities within the PhD committee and postdoc peer committee that are active at our institution. We have also very rich community life. Our postdocs and PhD are annually organizing their own retreat together with other institutions, even with institutions from abroad. We organize regular company visits, live after PhD events, which are events where we invite interesting PhD graduates from the field who are then speaking about their careers and giving you ideas in which direction could your career be steered after graduation. And we have also tea time events and sip of science events that focus on networking, science communication, and meeting your peers. We have also welcome office and onboarding support because we understand that coming from abroad is sometimes difficult, and we want to give you the right onboarding and support before your arrival, during your arrival, and also after your stay. And another indication, for me, maybe the most important indication of a successful institute is the career trajectory of its PhD graduates. We are a pretty young institute. We are only 14 years old, but we have already sent people to the world. And this is a story of Dagmar Zigáčková, one of our student RNA researcher, who became, after the graduation from the CETEC PhD school, a postdoctoral fellow at Yale Medical School. And today she serves at the same school also as the mentorship coordinator for the Yale Postdoc Association. The second success story is our alumni Dominik Hrebík from Slovakia, who is a structural biologist. And after the graduation, he received offer from Harvard and Max Planck Institute. He decided to go to Max Planck Institute because of the cryo-electron microscopy and their strength in this field, because this was his area. During his study, beside publishing in traditional scientific publishing magazine, he also had his viruses pictured in National Geographic, because we put a great emphasis also on science communication and other activities of our students. We have also a postdoctoral program where we have even higher level of internationalization than in the other fields. 80% of our postdocs come from abroad. They are organized in postdoc peer committee, and we have also a great deal of support in obtaining MSCA individual fellowship grants. And we have also local funding schemes available if the threshold for the MSCA applicant isn't high enough to reach on the traditional European MSCA grant. We have national and local grants that can provide you with funding, and you will be able to join CETEC, even if you would maybe not be able to obtain the EU funding for MSCA. So to sum this up, why should you choose CETEC, or why I feel what are the most typical reasons that people give us when they join CETEC? So it is specifically the in-house cutting-edge core facilities, because as I said, the quality of the equipment drives a good research, and our equipment is really very good. It is the international scientific community that we have. It's the professional leadership and administrative support. We help our researchers with the grant from the moment they apply until they realize it, and the vibrant campus life. Here, my presentation will end. I didn't have time to give you all the info into detail, but please scan this QR code, or I will put it in chat. And we have a special info session for interested PhD candidates in January, where you will receive more specific information about the PhD studies. So if this was somehow interesting for you or any of your friends, please give them the link to this event. And if you would like to have any general information to our CETEC PhD school, you will find it using this QR code on this slide. We will send all slides to you after the event. And this will be all for me. And I would be happy if some of you will join us at CETEC because we need talents to succeed. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Esther, for introduction of a successful research institution here in Brno. And now we are going to continue our journey, virtual journey among cities in the Czech Republic. And I would like to ask a representative of the Faculty of Medicine in Pilsen. So we are going west to the third largest city in the Czech Republic, which hosts also the Faculty of Charles University. It's this Faculty of Medicine. So I would like to ask our colleague to take the floor.
Thank you for your introduction. I will try to share my screen. So if you can see my first slide.
Yes.
Thank you.
In full screen mode. Okay.
For confirmation. So I only stop my video because maybe it is better to see only the slides. So firstly, I would like to introduce our faculty. We are Medical Faculty of Charles University. Charles University was founded by our Czech King Charles IV in 1348 in Prague. At the beginning, it was 4 faculties: liberal arts, medicine, law, and theology. Then, after Second World War, was also founded our medical faculty in Pilsen. In this, let's say, historical building. And currently, the situation is absolutely different. We built step by step a new campus. We started with the Biomedical Center, then the big blue lecture hall, and we finalized all the place with the rest of the campus. So here you can see all 3 parts, and it is together our new campus. Regarding our master's study program in English, they were launched at 1993, and till our current time, we have more than 1,000 graduate students in general medicine, and then approximately 200 graduated students in dentistry. After launching of master student program, also doctoral study programs were launched in English, and our current situation is here. You can see the list of accredited doctoral study programs. Here, as you can see, we almost completely cover the research biomedicine topics. Here you can see the number of our PhD students. We have stably more than 200 PhD students and our faculty, and every year plus minus 20 PhD students graduate. The structure of international students are very colorful, as you can see at the right side of my screen. PhD study standard period 4 years, maximum 8 years. And here you can see the main axis of PhD study programs. We start at the first year with mandatory courses. Then during the study, there are 2 special exams close to the topic of PhD study topic, and then we support the people in publication and scientific conference presentation. Here you can see 3 mandatory courses at the first year, introduction to research activities, then biomedical statistics to health informatics. After that, it depends on individual study program. Regarding creative work, there are mandatory 3 or 4 papers published in impact factor journals, and also presentation at scientific conference are mandatory. One conference is our own, and also supported are other scientific conference in Europe or worldwide. Also welcome is experience from abroad, and this experience, it should be in duration plus 1 month or longer. We also offer co-tutor program. This is the special dual doctoral study program. And if the students spend as minimum 25% of PhD study at next institution, it is 6 months as minimum. After the finalization of doctoral study, the students receive 2 diplomas from both institutions. Financial aspects, annual fee are here 40 euros per year. It is, I think, acceptable. Doctoral bursary we also offer. It is not so high, so it means these bursaries are usually combined with our sources from our projects, grants, or partnership contracts with medical faculty. Admission process, here you can see if you want to start in October next year to study, here you can see that it is mandatory to complete the master's degree program till the end of September. Then at the end of April is application deadline, and usually entrance interviews will be organized in June. We also offer postdoc position, and here you can see is also financially supported. And some words about Pilsen. Pilsen is center of West Bohemia, and we can say that Pilsen is a small town, 2,100 people, very good connection to Prague airport. To Prague, it is 100-kilometer wide highway, and also the connection with train is very good. In Pilsen are very friendly living cost and traditionally very good level of public transport. Pilsen is also the capital of beer. Here you can see the building of Pilsen Brewery, and there is brewed that the famous Pilsner beer, Pilsner Urquell. So here also my contact and my colleagues, Department of Science and Research, who take care about doctoral students, and it is. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for your presentation, and we are slightly in a hurry, so we will go back to Brno, to the International Clinical Research Center, usually known under ICRC abbreviation. So, colleagues from ICRC, floor is yours.
Thank you. My name is Pavel Šimana. I work at the group of mechanobiology of the disease. I think we discussed this, that I will have like 5-minute presentation, and then I give word to Dr. Williamson, and then 5 minutes for our student from Portugal, Sofia Morazzo. So I will share my screen and quickly introduce you our group of mechanobiology. Share screen, yes. Okay, so do you see my screen?
Yeah, we confirm.
Okay, so as I said, I'm working at the mechanobiology of disease group, which is led by Dr. Giancarlo Forte. We are part of the International Clinical Research Center, ICRC, which is part of St. Anne's University Hospital. And we also collaborate tightly with the Medical Faculty of Masaryk University in Brno. This is our building. So we have this floor full of laboratories and offices with a beautiful view on the forest. It's on the top of the hill. The group itself, as I said, is led by Giancarlo Forte, who is partly here and partly working at King's College London. I have colleagues from all around the world, including right now we have three Portuguese, one postdoc, Soraya Fernandes, who is currently in Australia, as well as Marco Casani. And we have two PhD students who's finalizing their PhD program, Daniel Pereira de Souza and Sofia Moraza, who will later tell you a few words of her experience here in Brno. So just to introduce you what we do mechanobiology, but maybe it's not you're not familiar with what is mechanobiology. So the conservative way of looking on how the cell perceive or get information about surrounding is the chemical signaling. We have some signaling molecules that binds to the receptors on the surface of the cell, and then through the signaling cascade, the information goes to the nucleus, where typically the expression of a gene happens and the cell reacts somehow, let's say proliferate. Like, let's say last 10 years maybe or more, is very popular the additional way of how the cell can receive the information, and it's based on the physical properties of the surroundings, mostly the extracellular matrix, and this is a mechanical signaling. So there are some protein complexes called focal adhesions, and then through the cytoskeleton the signal goes to the nucleus. And one of the most important mediators of this is a protein called YAP. And if the YAP is in the nucleus, then we call it an active YAP, and it reacts to the physical properties. And the most important is the stiffness of the substrate or the extracellular matrix that surrounds the cells. And the cell, in this case of active YAP, reacts and do the proliferation, apoptosis, or migration. Decrease in apoptosis. Why this is important? It's closely connected to some diseases, mostly the cancer. You know that the tumor has got a higher stiffness than a healthy tissue. And the other model case is the heart diseases, where after myocardial infarction, the scar tissue is consisting of fibroblasts and is much stiffer, and this can lead to the pathological state called hyperproliferation of the heart. So I'm not going into details for the sake of time. In our group, we work mostly with the induced pluripotent stem cells, the human iPS cells that can be created from any somatic cells, like, for example, human skin cells or blood cells. This is by the reprogramming, we create the pluripotent stem cells, the iPS, and from this stem cell state, we can create the beating cardiomyocytes either in 2D. Not sure if you see the video. This should be beating, or 3D organoid from cardiomyocytes, and we do a lot of research on this, just to show you that we have like quite nice publication activity every year. Most of the papers are in impacted journals, and it's about the cardio research, the activity or the function of the YAP and mechanoregulation, but also Soraya Fernandez is doing the prostate cancer research, and Fabiana Martino here is doing the mechanical regulation of splicing. So yeah, unfortunately there was some bad timing. We had the 2 positions for PhD students, but the deadline at the medical faculty was a couple of weeks ago. So both of the positions are already filled. We have the students already, and it was like one of the project was working on YAP activity on sarcomeres in cardiomyocytes. The other project was the effect of mechanical stimuli on RNA splicing in prostate cancer cells. But I'm really sorry, I cannot offer this anymore. But maybe this is just our group. I hope I'm within 5 minutes. Maybe Dr. Williamson will have more positive news for you. I heard he's hiring right now. So with this, I would like to give him a word.
Thank you, Pavel. I will attempt to share my screen. It seems I can share my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen and can you hear me?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. So to those of you that are watching,
so
I am
not
Adam
the
Williamson.
screen.
Sorry?
We don't see the presentation. We only hear you, but the presentation is not there.
Oh.
I can see the presentation.
Oh, I just see Adam. Okay, sorry. Some problem in my...
Everyone else, Martin, can you confirm you see my presentation? Good. Okay. Pavel, click something. It doesn't matter. It's not a very exciting presentation. All right. I'll just start a timer for 5 minutes. Okay. So I am Adam Williamson. I am a team leader at ICRC. So specifically St. Anne's University. My team is Neuromodulation Technology, abbreviated NMT. You can find us on the internet. So Brno is obviously very beautiful, and we are located, the hospital, downtown, very close to the center. As you can see in this picture, that's very nice, but the hospital is literally next to the center of town. So right where you're seeing this green arrow, this is the epilepsy ward. This is specifically where my team does most of its work. And I would say 90% of what we are focused on is brain stimulation in epilepsy. If I give you the world's fastest introduction to the entire treatment of epilepsy, it works just like this. People come to us with seizures. The first line of attack against seizures is medication. However, for 30% of patients, this is totally insufficient. Seizures are uncontrolled with medication. And there is for sure another 30% that are controlled, but with absolutely horrendous side effects. I mean, you're looking at valproic acid here. This is a very, very strong anti-epileptic drug. The side effects can be quite severe. We're turning people into zombies regularly with the type of level of drugs that we have to give them to suppress seizures. So the absolute gold standard of care after drugs fail that we perform in Brno and at a couple of other very, very prestigious research facilities in Europe is SEEG. So these are penetrating electrodes that you put into the head, many of them into the epileptic brain. And based on some stimulation and recording from these electrodes, we identify some portion of the brain, specifically the epileptic target, the epileptogenic zone, and we resect what we believe to be the epileptic focus. That is quite literally in panel 2 and 3, the state of the art of science. There are some permanent stimulators depicted here in 4, but generally they have been totally ineffective to control seizures completely. You're looking at somewhere between 40, maybe 15% control of seizure frequency. So, you still cannot be left alone in the bathtub with your baby. You can still not drive. Quality of life is totally negatively affected. So in our group, when I say brain stimulation, I would just expand this slide very modestly. I would say we're looking to expand explorable tissue. And ideally, based on expanding explorable tissue, can we decrease these resective targets? Can we make more and better focal estimations for our resective surgeries so we can be seizure-free without deficits or limiting deficits? And at the moment, we have some grants to do this using a very new technology of interference, specifically called temporal interference, abbreviated here TI. This is where we take combinations of radio frequencies, we apply them non-invasively to the side of the head using pairs of electrodes, and these create envelopes. So we effectively use envelopes replicating the decades of expertise that we have in deep brain stimulation from neurology, and ideally create these points of stimulation, and my group and some others have shown that this is indeed possible, these points of modulation deep within the brain using these non-invasive electrodes. And with this, we are beginning to develop new and very effective therapies in epilepsy. So with that, I'm coming to the end of my 5 minutes. This is my team. There are lots of us. We have lots of grant money. I have several ERC grants. We have EIC funding. We have a DARPA. That's very nice. And we have lots of very cool, very smart collaborators from all over the world. And I believe I'm speaking to some Portuguese speakers. I would say I am myself beginning to create a Portuguese-speaking mafia in Brno. So we have 3, and I've seen once you get one, Portuguese tend to multiply. There's definitely a Fibonacci feeling here. So apply now for if you're looking for PhD or postdoc positions. Just either contact me, contact Martin. He'll be here, obviously, and he can put you in touch with me. So with that, I have completely run over my time. I apologize, but thank you so much for the opportunity to come and say a little bit about brain stimulation in epilepsy.
It doesn't matter. You have run of your time. It was great. It was extremely interesting. So I have here noticed that there will be also your colleague from ICRC. So I would like to invite her. Where is she?
I'm sorry, I'm having a bit of Wi-Fi connection issues.
Okay.
Do you see me well, or is there a lag if I have the camera on?
Well, and he hear you clearly.
Okay, because I have a lag from my side at least. If you hear me okay, then I'll just assume.
More or less.
Okay, so I do have a presentation to show you. So let me just see.
Somewhere at the bottom there is a horizontal menu. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you see it in presentation mode?
Now, yeah, okay, it's okay. You see.
All right. All right. So thank you so much for inviting me to talk a little bit about my experience. So as my colleague and friend Pavel Shimara has mentioned, we have quite an international group at ICRC that's from many different countries. This is just an example of the countries in the cardiovascular group. And this is, as mentioned, 3 of the Portuguese that we are representing here in the group. 2 of us work mostly in cancer, but Daniel also in cardiac fibrosis. And basically, one of the main advantages that I found as a PhD student working in ICRC is the very good salary and the fact that it's considered a job. So this is very important in terms of being discounted for taxes, in terms of then being eligible for unemployment benefits, maternity leave, and everything else. So sometimes when you go to other countries, this is mostly paid as a scholarship, which doesn't entitle you for taxes. And this is something that is not usually taught when we leave university, but I've learned is very important. And I summarize just these benefits because I think my colleagues already summarized it greatly, that ICRC is a multidisciplinary institute with many different groups that work in many different and interesting fields. All of them that can also partner with each other, learn from each other, and share the state-of-the-art technologies that exist in our facilities. Then in Masaryk University, as a student, it's also very international. They have started recently the English program, which definitely benefits a lot international students. And you also have a scholarship guaranteed for 4 years of study, plus also a scholarship for your internship abroad. So this makes really working in Czech Republic and particularly doing your PhD very interesting because ICRC partners with Masaryk. So if you do your PhD at ICRC, you will also be enrolled in Masaryk and have the benefit of both. And then overall, as mentioned, they have a good science hub. So CETEC, EFNUSA, and Masaryk are all in the same campus and share this interesting scientific environment. They do have this requirement of first author publication at least 1 month abroad. But as mentioned, you do have great support to make this happen. And overall, Brno as a city, it's really safe. It's really a student city, so student life, a lot of coffee shops, a lot of libraries, accessible prices, excellent public transportation. So from a Portuguese, this is highly appreciated. And it's also very sport friendly, very pet friendly, and greatly a good location to travel and explore as well, which I think it's important not just for conferences, but also for a good work-to-life balance. And also just to mention a bit, you do have extra funding options as well. So apart from scholarship and the salary, Brno City also offers the PhD talent grant. And then, for instance, in my case, through the embassy, there are different scholarships as well offered to Portuguese students. But I'm sure that other embassies also have other programs depending on your nationality. So do explore them because it always helps to have funding when you can. And ultimately, I'll just briefly introduce a bit my topic just as a very overall project. So my project, my PhD is about breast cancer, which has an importance that I think everyone is familiar with in terms of worldwide impact. And there are at the moment 4 different types of molecular subtypes of breast cancer based on different parameters. The key ones are these receptors, HER2 and the ER/PR receptors. I will not get into too much detail here, but just to show you overall a bit of variety in our projects, I'm mostly working with triple negative, mostly because it has the worst prognosis, particularly because it has a very high rate of metastasis, and the prognosis drops quite dramatically once it does both regional but especially distant metastasis. So one of the key processes that I look in the metastatic process is the process of epithelial to mesenchymal transition, which confers these aspects of collective migration, plasticity, and therapy resistance. So these are some of the things that I studied and I worked with. My protein of interest is part of this larger family of proteins, which are the MAPPKs. But again, I will not enter too much into detail unless you have any particular questions. But this is basically molecular signaling studies applied to breast cancer research. And basically, we more or less looked at patient samples. We saw that ERK3 is relevant in patient samples by being overexpressed in cancer samples, and particularly in the TNBC subtype. Also correlates with poor grades and worse overall patient survival. And so we use different techniques to study it. One of my internships was at EMBL, where we used a microfluidic platform to study cancer cell extravasation. Here we did some permeability tests to see that our chip was viable. And then we performed the actual analysis using some of the advanced microscopy mentioned in the MARE software that allow us to study the positioning of the cells, which in my case was only significant, for instance, here in the mid-extravasation. And some other examples are, for instance, these also interesting models we worked with, which are lung organoids, or with the breast cancer spheroids, which were co-cultured together to study the process of collective migration and invasion into the spheroids. So this is some example of some of the images that we can obtain and process, and that led to some interesting discoveries in our group. So that's it from me. I hope I was more or less on time. And if you have any question, please feel free to ask.
Thank you very much. For questions, please use the Zoom chat now, but at the end there will be some time slot for normal questions. Thank you very much for your interesting presentation, and we are going to complete our journey among the cities in the Czech Republic, in our capital, in Prague, and the end. This will be at the end, and we will start among Prague institutions in the Institute of Organic Chemistry and Biochemistry, probably the most widely known institute of the Academy of Sciences. So please, colleagues from IOCB.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you see my presentation in the presentation?
Well, and it's in full screen mode. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Pavlína Maloj-Rezakova, and I am a researcher. I am a structural biologist. I work at the institute, and at the same time, I do have a position as a vice director for research. And it's my pleasure to introduce my institute here at this platform already for a second time. So Institute of Organic Chemistry and Biochemistry, unlike all the institution you heard from before, is part of the Czech Academy of Sciences. So it's not a university, but we do train PhD students and also postdocs. In the chat, I noticed there were some questions about chemistry, and chemistry was not covered in the previous institution. So now you will hear something about chemistry, but not only about that topic. So IOCB Prague is primarily a research institution. As I said, we are not university. And our mission is on the first place to advance scientific knowledge. But at the same time, we do think about application that impact health and society. And we train students and also junior colleagues. And it's also part of the education to give them train not only in research, but also other soft skills. We do partnership with global academic and also industrial players, as I will present shortly. So the research focus of our institute can be put into three clusters: chemistry, biology or biochemistry, and physical chemistry. Here on the slide, you can see all topics that are covered within these three clusters. Chemistry includes organic chemistry, medicinal chemistry, chemistry of natural products, chemical ecology, also drug discovery. The biochemistry and biology includes structural biology, cell biology, virology, and other disciplines shown on the slide. And the physical chemistry includes a lot of theoretical and computational chemistry, but also many experimental techniques such as molecular spectroscopy, analytical chemistry. We are very well equipped for NMR and EPR spectroscopy. As was also mentioned in one of the previous presentations, our research is based on the equipment and on the talents. And the equipment is represented here by our cutting-edge core facilities shown here, starting from very strong NMR, flow cytometry virology. We have a BSL-3 lab where we can perform experiments on viruses. A next generation sequences, cryo-EM, just in 7 days actually. Next week we will be opening our cryo-EM facility. High performance computing, big cluster located at our institute, and other techniques here. My science is based on cryo-EM and crystallography. As I said, we also get into not only research, but how the research can be applied to human medicine. And in our institute, we are fortunate enough to have several breakthrough discoveries in medicinal chemistry. The history of our institute goes to 1950s. We just celebrated the 70th anniversary last year. And since 1960s, we contributed in field of hormone analogs. We did some pioneering work in nucleoside and nucleotide analogs. And that led to a strong base that we have here in-house, turning around tech transfer and licensing and patent office. This is a timeline showing real examples of medicinal products that our institute contributed and that nowadays treat millions of people. What is worth to mention are, is at the end of the timeline between years 2010 and 20, you may see a lot of virostatics aiming at treatment of HIV and hepatitis B infections. Thanks to that, we do get financial means to support our research. Our researchers are not only top scientists and mentors. Our research groups are clustered into senior and junior research groups. You can find a list of all of them at our webpage, along with their exciting research. Our research is funded by local grants, but also ERC grants, Horizon Europe, and other EU funding holders. Just today, it was announced that our institute, our colleague Tomáš Pluskal, received the ERC Consolidator grant. We are very happy for him. Strong publication and citation record can be found on our webpage. We have many international collaborations and a rich program of invited lectures and seminars. The numbers of IOCB can be shown here. You can see we are a quite large institution. We just reached the number 1,000 during this year. We have 40 nationalities, 40 research groups, 100 postdocs, and close to 200 or around 200 PhD students. What's also interesting is that we have two branches. We have a branch in Prague, Czech Republic, but we recently also opened a branch in US Boston, which allows us to advance our research on the other continent and also in the heart of a technology transfer place. And in addition to publications, we also we also file about 50 patents a year. Why to choose IOCB Prague? We do meaningful research. We work on impactful applications and disciplinary collaborative approach. The fact that we have chemists, biologists, and physical theoretical chemists in one building means that we interact together, and the added value is that we have a lot of interdisciplinary collaborations, and you can learn from colleagues in all those disciplines. We are located in a very modern campus shown here. You could see our windows are shine until the very late night because we like to work and make discoveries. We are very close to Prague Castle and the historical heart of Prague. Life in Prague and Czechia, we heard a lot about how nice it is to live in Czech Republic. You might hear a little bit more from my colleague from Portugal later. Here I just show you some nice picture of Prague. I don't think I need to show you more because Prague is a very known capital in the world. Please join us. IOCB is always looking for new talents. And we have a PhD open positions being publicized throughout the year on our webpage. And new projects for next year will be announced in January. You have a webpage here. If you are interested, check the list of available PhD projects right after Christmas. And for postdoc positions, the procedure how to apply at our institute is that you find a researcher and research that you like, and you can contact directly the group leader and then apply with him or her together with a topic for internal funding or external funding, and a list of open position and procedure how to apply can be found on these links. If you want to discover more, here are some links to our website, our social media. You can also take a virtual tour and check our research yearbook from the year 2022. And now I would like to give floor to two colleagues. I stop share the presentation, and I have two colleagues here who will introduce themselves because they are from Portugal. Susana Machado, she's connected online, and Joao is just newly joined PhD students. And in the program now, we have a 10-minute slot for them to tell you how they got to the IOCB and what it means to pursue either PhD studies or postdoc at our institution. So I think Susanna will start. So please go ahead.
Hello, my name is Susanna. I would like to just share that I'm a bit sick, so my voice is kind of shaky. So I started working for my PI, Susana Cascachova, at a tumor suppressors lab in 2021. And so far I've been very happy to work and live here. So this is mostly the advantages that I find myself living here. For example, IOCB is a very friendly institute. Everybody is nice and can help you. They have the conditions, the equipment, the collaborations to do our research. They have nice parties as well. Salaries here in Czech Republic and in Prague, I'm so sorry, are comparable to Portugal, but even better. In my experience, in Portugal, a lot of our postdoc positions are basically fellowships and not positions with contract, in which in Portugal you don't pay taxes, but here you pay taxes and you get to go to the doctor for free and have other advantages as well. Also, living here in Prague, it's a big city, very nice to live in, nice neighborhoods. It's somewhat cheap to live and very dynamic. So after work, you always have like a good social life if you want to, always stuff to do. And basically it's that. I don't know if you have any specific concerns, but I have to say that in all the countries that I've lived in, Czech Republic has been one of the most comfortable ones, because you can speak in English and survive here with just English. People are nice. The jobs there are a lot of jobs available with a nice salary, and there's nothing bad I could say about this country or even science. I think that this country is very driven to give funding to science, and that shows in everyday life, and that shows in the funding that you see. So this is one of the countries that I actually would recommend to do a PhD or a postdoc. Also, socially speaking, as a Portuguese person, it's very easy to adapt here. It's very compatible. They like to have fun, just like we do in Portugal. They like to eat, just like we do in Portugal. Very easy to make friends. I don't think there's always cultural differences whenever you change countries, but I think you will not find any type of problems or obstacles, because it's a very easygoing country as well.
Thank you, Susanna. I think the one of the differences is the weather that made you sick. I'm sorry to
But you
hear.
can always go on vacation. So I don't even remember the weather, because it's during the summer, it's super nice here. In the winter, the days are shorter, but it snows, and I like snow, so I don't think it's a downside of working in Czech Republic, because you can always go for vacation if you miss the sea or the sunny days. But it's super nice, even in weather.
Thank you very much, Susanna. And now I would like
you.
to give a few minutes to Joao, who is a PhD student and actually who joined our institute just very recently and who participated in this event last year. And thanks to this webinar, he is with us now.
Yeah, so I'm João. I'm a product of this webinar. So last year I was a master student at the Molecular Medicine Institute at Lisbon, and I was looking for a nice PhD program, and this webinar was divulged in the institute, and that's how I actually was exposed to IOCB and all of these interesting topics here. So I arrived in September, so I don't have as much experience as Susanna. So she might be better equipped to deal with your questions if you have any. But what I can say so far is that IOCB is very well equipped. So it's a top level institute. There are a lot of interesting projects and collaborations between groups. I'm a PhD student from the cryo-EM core facility myself. So just like Susanna said, Prague is a very nice city. The public transportation is excellent, which is something that Portuguese people will definitely appreciate if you're coming from Lisbon. The weather is a bit of a shock to some, so keep in mind that the days are quite shorter in the winter compared to Portugal. There is a lot of social life in Prague. There are a lot of events and activities. So, like Susanna said, it's quite easy to integrate yourself and make new friends. I don't really know what to
Maybe
you
want to mention the process of admission to university.
So IOCB is a research center, but it doesn't confer a PhD degree. So keep in mind that if you want to be a PhD student at IOCB, you also need to be enrolled in a university. So you will need to pass exams and get accepted into, for example, Charles University or Institute of Chemical and Technology University. So yeah. And I think that's it for me.
Okay. And we do organize, we invite PhD students from abroad here for interview, which is usually sometime in the March. So it's actually Joao's second visit.
Yeah.
He came to visit before he agreed to come and work at IOCB. So I think that's all from our side. I will hand the word back to Martin. And thank you, Susan.
Thank you very much. I've seen that Blanca already mentioned some dates, some deadlines regarding IOCB PhD school. Thank you very much for the introduction of IOCB as well for the real experiences from for people from Czechia. It sounds really very nice that people are satisfied here when doing their research and when they relocate to Prague. I hope the trend will be increasing in these terms. And the last presentation will be given by our colleagues from Prague Bio, which is not a research institution, but it's an institution which incorporates or which somehow maps the Prague bio environment. So, Petra, I would like to ask you to take the floor.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Martin, for my slot. And I'm trying right now to share my screen. Just please hold on a second. As it was said, sorry, yeah. As it was said, I am not representing university or research institution. I am representing Prague Bio, which is a cluster or association of different institutions. Our unifying word is biotech. Actually, I would like to thank again for this opportunity to speak here, and I'm really honored to follow my colleagues from well-known universities or research institutions. And it's really nice to hear nice words from our international colleagues, international students about the life in the Czech Republic. So as I said, Prague Bio is an association. We have in our name the name of our capital city, Prague, which definitely doesn't mean that we only focus on Prague. We would like to basically unite or perform as a platform for biotech sector in the Czech Republic. We are a professional association that was founded in 2023, and our goal is to connect business, academia, and public sector in the field of biotech in Czechia. We also would like to integrate, develop, and enhance the visibility of the biotech segment, both within the Czech Republic and abroad. We mostly focus on Central Europe. We were founded by 6 members, one university, already mentioned, University of Chemistry and Technology in Prague, which was mentioned by Pavlína Řezáčová, and 4 institutes of the Czech Academy of Sciences, which is IOCB, which is Institute of Molecular Genetics, Microbiology Institute, and Institute of Biotechnology, and also one company that focuses on investment in biotech projects, which is INI Prague. Which means that we not only focus on studies, but also on technology transfer. In the meantime, until now, we have among our members 1 more Czech Academy of Sciences Institute, 2 law companies that focus on life sciences, because we believe that for technology transfer, it is also important to promote legal issues, regulatory, intellectual property protection, and so on. And we also have more biotech and pharma companies. To this date, we have 16 members, and others are soon to come to become members of our association, which means that we are trying to really unify and create platform where the exchange of experiences and needs between academia and the business sector is going to be promoted. We have our activities, which is Prague Bioconference. It was held last year. It was held this year in September, and right now we are planning next edition of this conference next September. And Prague Bioconference is just the place where we would like, and we try to bring together new technologies, startups, plus investors, and to be really promote innovation and technology transfer. Because we believe that Czech biotech sector has its potential. We would like to enhance its visibility, and we represent our members in international events such as BioEurope, BioInternational, BioEquity, or Swiss Biotech Days. These are just some of them. And we also would like to serve as a contact point for foreign partners looking for opportunities in the Czech Republic, not only from business sector, but also from students. So in case that there would be some potential PhD or postdoc students which would be interested in their studies in some of our members, then please just let me know, send me an email or connect on LinkedIn. And as I cannot tell you right now the precise details of PhD schools or PhD programs of all our members, then I hope that I can connect you with the right people. Maybe the last thing I would like to mention among our activities is so-called academy. And because we believe in innovation, potential, and technology transfer, we would like to start pilot program next year, and we would like to focus on startup founders and startup CEOs, and we would like to provide educational program for potential founders and CEOs so that we can show postdocs and senior PhD students that also this is the way where the science can be promoted and can be bring into applications. Yeah, this is just the title page of our conference. In case you would like to see more, you can see the conference video, or you can visit our website of conference, or you can follow us on LinkedIn. And yes, these are my contact details and my colleagues' contact details. And as I'm the last speaker, I would like to leave some space for questions and answers. So this is my last word, and I would like to thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much for your presentation, which revealed that biotech sector is not only an issue of universities or public research institutions, but here in the Czech Republic there is a rich and vibrant life of the whole sector, and there's a rich environment. So, as you have mentioned, now it's the right time for questions, remarks, for some feedback. By the way, if you have some particular questions which you want to put not here just to the chat or say them just online, there will be an opportunity to put your question into a particular form. I'm going to put a link. Just give me a second. So and now in the chat window, you can see the separate form for questions, and you can put their questions later, and we will try to answer them in the following days. Any questions, remarks, experiences? I have seen someone raised his or her hand. So do not hesitate.
Yes,
And
hello.
we cannot hear you.
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sure.
Oh, I My name is Musa. Actually, I finished my master in Medichem. So I was wondering, like other country, when you apply abroad, sometimes they ask about equivalent certificate, and for Czech Republic, do you guys need to translate our certificate from like English to Czech, or to make equivalent for Czech like educational system, or what we should do?
Sure, I fully understand the question. May I ask you, you are interested in, yeah, it will be better to write it. Or you can use the form if you want to.
I'm a European citizen, so maybe it doesn't apply. But for me, I just had my certifications in English from my original country, and it was fine.
Thank you. Another hand raised. Edward, please.
Hi, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. So basically, I'm in bioinformatics, and I wanted to ask, do you do, say, industry-based PhDs? Or basically you partner up with an industry where you can do a job while actually doing the PhD? How does it work? Is it usually like a job, the PhD?
I can answer for IOCB. PhD students are employed at our institute with full contract and all the benefits. On top of that, they are supported by the universities by a stipend.
Okay, all right. And the going rates, you'd find them after interviews, or?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you.
I would just confirm that for CERTEC it's very similar. Our PhD students, they get a stipend, but they can also have a contract in the laboratory and earn some extra money. And on the top of it, there are also local funding schemes and scholarship that incoming students from abroad can apply for and get additional funding.
Well, by the way, there is a general discussion about industrial PhDs in the Czech Republic. It is not captured formally, but in fact, there are several students, even in biomedical sciences, who do something which can be considered as an industrial PhD.
Okay, so it's in a sense it's like a case by case, like you can work something out.
It
Okay.
really depends on the institutions and partial funding schemes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other questions, remarks? I can see there one more raised hand. Qaisar Shahzad.
Hi, it's Kaiser Shahzad.
So sorry for bad pronunciation.
No issues. Actually, I have two questions. One is that my PhD I will be graduating in March 2025. So is it okay to apply before graduating? And second question is that my area of research is medical imaging and functional near-infrared spectroscopy. So is there any opportunity relating my field or not? And how can I find a postdoc in Czech Republic?
Sorry. As you may know, we are running a website or a portal which is called researchjobs.cz, which can be considered as a central point for vacancies like postdocs as well as PhD positions as well. So you can follow researchjobs.cz on different channels on LinkedIn or directly www.researchjobs.cz, and there is a current offer of postdoc positions. I'm not sure that there is actually a postdoc position just in your area, but follow these channels and you will see.
Oh, okay, thank you very much.
If I may add about the timing, I definitely recommend you to search for a postdoc position few months before you graduate. It takes time, and then you may agree with your future employer about the start of your employment based on your planned PhD finishing date.
I can
Thank
actually
you very much.
I can actually give my input. So I started to apply for postdoc positions before I had my PhD degree. So basically, I was waiting to defend and I started applying right away. And then I was given by my current boss the option to actually start before the PhD defense. So I started working for her and then I went to Portugal, defended, came back, and everything went fine. So I would suggest talk directly to the PIs you're interested in.
Good point.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Any questions, remarks? If not, I would like to express my thanks to all attendees, to all participants presenting their institutions, and other people who took part in this event. And if there are some more questions in future, you can use the form. By the way, this session was recorded, and after some pre-processing, I'm going to put at least the parts with presentations on YouTube, and I'm going to send you a follow-up with presentations, with slides, and later with the video recording. So stay tuned. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye. Have a nice evening.
Goodbye. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
day. Thank you. Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
So thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. I wanted to ask if we should send the presentations to you, Martin.
Yeah, I will be glad. I will prepare a special follow-up
Okay.
for the institutions involved. and some comments, some additional data as well, and then there will be a special follow-up for standard participants.
Okay. Thank you very much for organizing it. Joao just said that he thinks that there was more participants than last year. I don't recall the numbers, but let's see if it was more successful than last year and the fame grows.
I think so. However, the number of people who registered was much more larger. So not all the people who registered also attend this event. So that's a question. What were the troubles? But of course, we have contacts on them, and we are going to provide them slides and the full service as to all people who attended really online.
Thank you. If it is worth it, even if it's a one person who is happy with the PhD in Czechia, and we are happy to do this.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind words. But by the way, the video recording has also his or her separate life, because people are watching it. The number of views is every day slightly higher, 1 or 2 and 3 more people watching it. Time by time, I'm just checking the number of visits of the video.
Okay. And if there are any questions in the Google form, you will follow them to us, or we will have access.
Sure. Yeah. I will check it just at the moment. No response now, but I will be checking it regularly.
Okay.
Okay, so goodbye, everyone.
Thanks.
My daughter is
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.
Mom, say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. It was nice meeting you.
Goodbye to Brno.
Have a nice evening. Nice to see you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.